May 31, 2023, at approximately 7:15 p.m., an off-duty Chicago PD officer named Quan Spencer pulled up to a dumpster blocking an alleyway on West Maypole while driving his personal vehicle. The investigation indicates that preliminary information received on the scene indicated that after moving the dumpster, Officer Spencer was fired upon, prompting him to run back to his vehicle and return fire. However, third-party footage shows a different story entirely. A separate angle, which shows the officer in the top right corner, appears to show the officer discharging his firearm prior to being shot at. As soon as the officer fires the initial shot, multiple individuals scurry to cover, and they have no way to know he is an off-duty police officer. Two individuals begin to return fire in the direction of the officer. After a total of 20 shots are fired, the officer retreats to his vehicle, but then drives in the direction of those who shot at him. This prompts a subsequent shootout. In a press release published a month later, COPA stated that, after further review of third-party video, it is unclear, and has not yet been determined, that the officer was fired upon first. A 911 call, placed by Officer Spencer minutes after the shooting, offers some insight into what transpired.
Hey, what's up? I'm a police officer. I just got shot by these gangbangers.
What's the location?
The location is Maypole and Levitt. It's block west. I'm not sure.
Stay on the line, sir. Hold on.
What's up?
Hello, fire department.
Hey, how you guys doing? Hey, they shot me. I think that it bounced off. I don't think I'm hit, but I don't think it bounced into me.
All right, where are you at?
But I'm at Levitt and Maypole. I don't know if I want to call it 10-1 or not, but they shut up my truck and they shot me.
I'm sorry, are you a PRU officer?
I'm a PO. My start number is one.
Listen, we got him on the way.
My start number is 15638, and they shot me up, and they're like a block west of Levitt.
Okay.
Okay.
They shot my car up and they shot me up.
The case is being investigated by the Civilian Office of Police Accountability, which is independent of the Chicago Police Department and has separate investigative powers.
All the praises and the honor goes to Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai Bahashem, Recha Ha Kodash, and double honors to the elder apostles and elder bishops of Great Millstone. Honors as well to you, brethren. Shalom to you, few sisters, and shalom to the hopefully elect. Peace to you. I want to do a short video, real quick if I can. Again, the intro by Midwest Security. Lord's will, the lesson be edifying, and I don't get flagged for taking this clip. I don't normally take those kind of clips, but I had to show, as you can see, the situation of the police who shot, purposely shot at these Jakes, and they were all ready. So this brings me to a scripture. Automatically there was scriptures that came to my mind, but I'm not going to read a lot. But these Jakes, right, we can get Job 20, that's all good too. But these Jakes, they are ready for war. Now also, if there's any draft and Jake's locked up, right, they will, as they did in the Civil War and various other wars, give them a pardon to get out there and start shooting until they kill themselves, right? But I just want to read this real quick. Proverbs 4:14, enter not into the path of the wicked and go not in the way of evil men, right? So these Jakes, they have no regard for life, but it seems like the police don't either. I remember I had a vision some years back, and the police was just as scared as the other people. So we could see where this is going, okay? And the more society breaks down, the more hell that the Lord brings on Babylon, right? The more confusion is going to get, because it was never set up to prosper. Our people didn't follow the Holy One of Israel, Yahweh, right? So there's a lot to pay. The iniquities have to be accomplished. So by this cop getting shot, they're going to set up other scenarios for these Jakes to get shot. I'm pretty sure. Also, what I learned, that being in the streets myself, dabbling in these kind of incidents as a younger man, what the police like to do is set other people up that snitch on you, right? Or tell other people that you said some things, so you can create an inner war, and they can be on the outside and see you kill each other. I've seen them do that. They did it to me, right? But I was sharp enough not to fully accept it, okay? And that's what they do, and ultimately, nobody's going to have any respect for law enforcement. And I just watched another clip he did where the Jake, I can't put it up. The Jake, they tackled the Jake who had the gun, and Jake tried to shoot him while he was down, and the two officers on him. He pulled the gun and still fired off. It almost hit the officer, and the officer went into a panic attack. And they pulled the trigger, obviously, on him, quick. Now, the times that they supposed to pull the trigger, they don't seem to pull the trigger. But those body cams is showing more now, right? So they have to go kind of more by the book, okay? And this is exposing the secretness of Babylon. We all can see now, okay? Now, these people that are engineered, these GMO Jakes, they're engineered Jakes, right? They already have a mindset to ride or die. They don't have a regard for life. Anyway, avoid it, pass not by it, turn from it, and pass away. There's a brother in my camp now who went to go hang out and get some drinks, and hung up in the bar, and Jakes just jumped out and started shooting. Right in Baltimore. Start shooting while the cop was sitting right there in the car. Right? So it's getting ugly. It says, for they sleep not except they have done mischief, and their sleep is taken away unless they cause something to fall. There's death angels, death demons that are out there ready to kill you, and they just need a reason. So the reason why I'm doing this video, because you're going to have a whole lot of road rages. You're going to have a whole lot of incidents, especially with women, with their calling their uncles and cousins. It's a whole lot of, they had to show 1,000 ways to die. There's a whole lot of ways to die out here, man. There's more than 1,000, okay? But they was just saying that metaphorically, because if 1,000 ways to die, that's a lot of ways you can get killed, man. So we spoke to Romans 13:13. I'm just quoting. We got to walk honestly, not in rioting and drunkenness, and stay spiritual in the scriptures, even in our walk. Not saying you can't go to a movie, but even your walk, be circumspect. Right? And let's go to 2nd Esdras 15 and 14. Woe to the world and them that dwell therein, for the sword and their destruction draweth nigh. Now that Jake that got killed in the video I was talking about, He's in the spirit world, right? He said he's not going back to jail. And one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands, right? So you're going to have all kinds of different wars going on. Partial race, partial gangs, just a multitude of wars, It's just going to be war after war. Like when you're dealing with race, you can't only determine who looks like who, right? You can't look at a white person and say he's a Caucasian and a black person say they're Israelites. In this society, everybody's separated on color. But you have black people holding it down for white people. It's probably because they're probably the nation of those Caucasians. They just got skin complexion. You might have white people holding it down with so-called black people because they might be Israelites. The Spirit beareth witness. It says, for there shall be sedition among men, invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. So it's according to what they got. And this is what we're going to see transpiring. What we're going to see transpiring if the police may have a certain 9mm, and these other guys got, in the streets got AK-47s or AK whatevers, and it's abundance of them. Guess what? They're going to come swarm, and they're going to try to overpower. The course of your action stands in your hand. In other words, if somebody has a knife and they're trying to rob you, but then you pull out a gun, well, now you have the upper advantage. You have the upper hand. You have the advantage. Sedition means incitement or resistance to or insurrection against lawful authority. Right? Let's go back to Proverbs 4:18. I'll go back. But the path of the just, well, let me go to 17. For they eat the bread of wickedness and drink the wine of violence. Right? So you got cops that way too. See, what you have Jake, some cops who may really be sincere about their jobs, right? They just claim they want to make a difference. And then you have some Jake who say, well, I don't really want to kill anybody, but I'm going to hold it down to protect my own. Right? This is the way the world is. And then you got the wicked and evil on both ends. Right? So you got some cops that's ready to go out there and blow Jake away after that situation. Right? And then the Jakes is going to, it sound like a so-called black cop that got shot. So you can see where this is going, man. Right? You can see where this is going. It says, let me see, it says 4:18. But the path of the just is as the shining light that shineth more and more unto the perfect day. All the way up to our salvation. We're going to keep, we go out there, we go in the hedges, and this is why I say not to get in too much confrontation even on the hedges. Prophesy. If you want to teach and somebody's come up, they want to learn, you show them, you might get in a small little back and forth, and if they don't get it, you got to let them go. But all the extra stuff, we had these grimy jakes come by us and say, get that trash off the corner. Well, this is Jeremiah 4:22. They're sottish. They're wise to do evil, but to do good, they have no knowledge. They won't say get drugs off the corner. They won't say get the gangbangers off the corner. They won't say get the thieves and adulterers off the corner. Right? They won't say anything wickedness against, they won't say get the pharmacy off the corner. You know what I'm saying? But our people, they love the wickedness. And this is all going to in turn lead up to what's happening. A man shall desire, 2 Ezra 15, a man shall desire to go into the city and shall not be able. For because of their pride, the cities shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and the men shall be afraid. And men shall be afraid. So us in the truth, we're being built up for this. We're getting ready through the Spirit. A lot of Israelite groups, they're in that They don't care about prophecy. They ain't about building a nation, waking up people and fixing marriages, all that kind of crazy stuff. When that's all part of waking up in the truth, the Lord will fix your marriage. If you got a marriage, there will be men, women, and children delivered. Right? This is how it's going to go. But the men are the leaders, and the men need to be built up in the faith. And of course, you sisters will as well under your men. A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword and spoil their goods. They have an executive order passed in the 60s, I believe, where if there's martial law, which means warlike law, they're allowed to come in your house and take goods and distribute it to back and forth. You really think they're going to distribute it back and forth? They're going to keep it for themselves. I got news for you. There'll probably be some cops and military coming up in your house spoiling you for your goods. All right? We don't go into this a lot, but this is very important, as in prophecy, to watch for, because it's going to come down to this. Isaiah 55, the Lord says, as the rain come down from the heaven that bringeth up the bud, right? So shall the word that goeth forth out of my mouth. I'm just quoting. And the Lord ain't never lie. This is coming, right? The time of Jacob's trouble that these other Israelites that say that it doesn't is not going to happen, right? A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation. And now when you go into a siege, the makeshift famine, they cut off the food. They cut off the supplies. If Edom had his way, this would have been accomplished a long time ago. But even he has orders by a higher power that's funneled down through the Most High. And it's coming, right? The Lord is just building up his elect. He's waking his elect up, right? And once his elect is sealed, which probably pretty much is, technically they all sealed, but some just haven't came into the fold. Because if you're the elect and you was in another group, you pretty much sealed. You just haven't come to your calling yet, your blossom, so to speak, right? And it says, like as they do yet this day unto my chosen, so will I do also and recompense into their bosom, thus saith the Lord Yahweh. So as John